Hello. We are listening to We Talk Raw on rBeatz Radio. I'm your host, Chelsea Walsh, and today I have a special guest in named Izzy Rockwell. Now, Izzy is quite famous here in North Carolina, anywhere in the world, actually. She is Miss Rodeo, North Carolina. Izzy, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
I'm so glad that you are here. It's so exciting.
Yes.
Izzy, why don't you kind of talk about how you got into rodeoing? That's a hard one.
It's okay. Some people mistake it for radio sometimes, so it's
go,
okay. But hey, that works today. So growing up, I was originally born in Florida. We quickly moved to upstate New York, where my dad's side of the family is from. When we were up there, they have a lot of agriculture, and they had a rodeo called the Double M, Western Rodeo. And I used to watch it, and I used to watch the sparkly rodeo queens come out with their big wings and their chaps, and they would come out carrying flags. And I was like, I want to do that when I grow up.
Yeah.
So when we moved down to North Carolina, when I was about 5, my parents put me in horseback riding lessons because I begged them to. And shortly after that, I started showing in the English world, which if you watch the Olympics, it's all like the hunter jumpers and dressage and fun stuff like that. I did the jumpers. So it was a totally different world. It wasn't till later on when I got my first barrel horse, I actually started rodeoing. And I was like, man, I really want to be a rodeo queen. I want to be involved. And they were like, hey, we have a Miss division, which is my age range, in North Carolina. So that's when I looked into it. And from there, here we are. So
just so intriguing. Now, I caught you saying something when you got a barrel horse.
Yes.
I didn't know that there was a difference in the kind of horses.
So not only with breeds, but there's also different disciplines horses can do. So different breeds can cross different disciplines. So for example, we have a quarter horse that not only does Western riding, but they do English. And when I say Western versus English, it's just two different saddles.
Okay.
The style's a little bit different based on the background of their history. But other than that, horses can do different things and they have different skills, kind of just like people do.
Right.
They have different skills for jobs. Some may be athletic, some
No, it
maybe
makes sense.
ready to model. So
Yes.
yeah, we have model horses too. So you never know.
You have 4 horses, I believe, correct?
I do, yes.
So what are they? What kinds of, what do you use them for? What are their names?
So I have Newcastle, Benjamin, Junior, and Batman. So that is in order from oldest to youngest. Newcastle is a Irish sport horse. He's going to be 28 this year. He's my old man, but we can't call him old. He'll get mad.
Yes.
My mom's listening. She'll be like, call him vintage. But he did the jumpers with me for a long time, and he also did fox hunting. So I don't know if you've seen the old pictures, if you go to like a vintage store that has the guys in the red coats with like following the hounds.
Yes.
So that's what we do. We don't actually hurt any of the prey or anything like that, but we follow the hounds and we follow scent trails for fox hunting. So he did all of that. He was actually born in Ireland and imported here when he was about 4 years old. So he's a true Irishman. And then I have Benjamin and Junior, and they are both what I call my all-around rodeo horses.
Okay.
So they do barrels, poles. I've set them on cattle. I can rope really poorly.
Maybe not. You'd be a better roper than me.
My hand-eye off the horse is maybe not the best. Definitely can't play polo either. But so I have those two, and then Batman is actually a mini pony. So he is about the size of a Great Dane. He weighs about 250 pounds, and he is currently in training to drive a cart behind him. So ponies can actually pull about 3 times as they can carry. So he can pull 2 normal size adult humans, and
so is he gonna what's his purpose gonna be? Batman's is he just gonna be like, hey, hop on guys, let's go?
Yeah, pretty much. So you could show the mini ponies. There's not a whole lot of mini showing around here, but I would really just use him for fun. Just go on you can go down the road in your little cart and have fun. He's also a big cuddle bug, so it's nice to just kind of have pony snuggles.
I love that. So you started at a young age, right?
Yes.
You saw Queen. What was it?
She's one of the queens at the Double M.
Okay.
Rodeo. And they always had, I think it was actually the owner's daughter used to come out, and she would carry flags. But they would come out and have these big, beautiful, red, white, and blue chaps and this sparkly everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was just it always made me tear up, and it still does to this day, just kind of thinking about it.
Right.
But it definitely, that sparked the interest for me right away.
Is that your aspiration someday, to become the queen?
I mean, I am the queen.
You are. No, you are. You are. You are Miss Rodeo. But isn't there a difference between because of your age division?
So our age divisions, we have sweetheart,
Okay,
princess, junior, teen, and miss. So miss is the
you
highest.
Are there.
So I'm there. I did it. Now,
how did you get here though? Because when I spoke with you earlier on, I think this is a huge life lesson and story, and quite frankly, I think it's the hook of this entire interview. Tell me a little bit, how did you get to your title today? It wasn't like number one right away.
Hey, here we go.
Yeah.
No, so I started looking into the Miss division, I think around 2019, 2020.
Okay.
Which obviously 2020, we won't mention what year that was, but
right.
It was rough. And from 2020 to 2021, we actually that was the first year that we had all the state queens.
Mm-hmm.
They were queens 2 years in a row because of COVID.
Right.
So I started looking into it then, and I wound up competing in 2022 for the 2023 title, and I wound up actually coming in third place,
which is huge.
It was kind of a shell shock, and I was certainly disappointed. But if you come into something, everyone has to start somewhere. So my platform is start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I started at the bottom. I didn't know what to do. My horsemanship was not great. My interview skills were not great. I was really nervous. I totally bombed my speech the first year. I mean, I think I got frozen on stage, looked my mom dead in the eyes, and was like, "Thank you all for coming. Goodbye." So, yeah. I mean, it was just like a whole, process. So the second year I came back, and I was like, okay, we're going to practice our horsemanship, our interview. I made sure people quizzed me and tested me. Mm-hmm. So what people may not know is there's actually a written test that goes along with the PRCA rule book, which the PRCA is the Pro Rodeo Cowboys Association, which is what all of us state queens are under. And when you do the test, it's a lot of just facts. It's a lot of flashcard facts. It's horsemanship facts. It's parts of the horse, parts of the saddle, illnesses, everything like that. So you really have to study and look forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm not a great test taker, so I struggled on that. Mm-hmm. And it was definitely hard to kind of step myself back up. I was really defeated after the first year, and I was like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hold on, let me just retrace my steps and fix what I could do better. So this past year I competed, and it went super well. I feel like I really aced everything. Obviously, I would hope I did.
You're here.
But I am here, and it was just such a great accomplishment. So, if anyone is out there, please do not get discouraged. Just try again. Every day is a new day, another chance. So
yeah. Well, I love that story. I think that there's so much to be said for that. When, you compete. I don't know if I would have had the courage, honestly, to go back and retry again. Placing third and then just being like, okay, let me try this again. It looks like though, or sounds like you did your due diligence. Like you went in, you went back to studying, you did all of the training that it took to kind of get to your title today.
Yes. And that's the thing, is you have to really upkeep it. So later on in the year, I'll actually go and compete for Miss Rodeo America. And, if you think that if I thought the state was hard, you think competing against all the other states.
How many states actually partake in it?
This past year, I believe we had 33.
Okay.
This year, I think we have more, just because I think we have more queens and more interest in it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of becoming a more well-known thing. So if we can spread the word even more, hopefully we can get all the states on board.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
So, okay. You were saying that you've refined your learning abilities and test taking, and I kind of want to go ahead and quiz you.
Okay.
I came up with a list of questions on Chelsea's Trivia Extravaganza. Are you ready to kind of dive in on these questions?
I'm ready. I've been prepared.
All right. Johnny, are we going to cue it up on the screen here? Woo! There we are. Look at that, Izzy.
Look beautiful.
For all of those that are listening and not able to actually see us, Izzy has on her beautiful crown. She's got this gorgeous, white hat with her big gold. What is that? It's called a crown, right?
Yeah, this is our crown. Yep.
Big
it's
gold
actually a
crown.
Separate piece from.
It's very
hats,
heavy.
So we can change different hats. Yes.
And then she's got a gorgeous belt buckle.
It's here. It's down
it has her name on it. It's so amazing. And she has on her what
My
is
sash.
it? Sash. Yes.
There it is.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Anyways,
appreciate
okay, so
that.
I just want to give you a visual description as to what she looks like. Are we ready to go? Now, if we get the answer correct, you're going to hear this noise.
Oh, I like it.
And if you get it wrong, what are we going to hear?
Oh, I hope I don't want to hear that noise. So we're
want
gonna do our
you-
best.
I want to stump you.
Chelsea wants me to hear
I
that
do.
noise.
I want you to get at least one wrong. That way I know I did my job. Okay, we're gonna hop in.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, here we go.
Giddy up, let's go. Okay, question 1.
Okay.
In calf roping, what is the rope in the roper's mouth called?
Oh goodness, is this a pigging string?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I was like, does she know it? Does she not? Are these too hard? I'm thinking, oh my God.
Oh
should
my
I do-
goodness, that one is a tough one actually.
Is it?
Yes,
Woo.
I think if you asked a lot of rodeo people who weren't involved with the calf roping, I think they would have questions. Although, unless you goat tie. If you goat tie as well, you'd use the same type of deal.
Okay, well, we're off to a good start here.
So far.
Number 2, the term bulking means, what does it mean?
Oh goodness, I might get this wrong.
It's okay.
She might have me stumped, guys. So bulking, I believe, is normally when your horse is like kind of like backing off like away from I don't know how to describe this. I can like
It
show you.
refuses to come out of the
Yes.
what? What does it refuse to come out of?
The chute?
Yes.
Okay. I'm over here.
Now I'm aiming for you to win. I'm like, get
Chelsea's
these.
reading
Is
for
this
me
too
now.
hard? Is this too hard?
No, not at all. See, so I'm a barrel racer, and that might have a really bad stigma around it, especially if you watch
No.
Yellowstone. We are not all super cuckoo crazy, I promise. Maybe a little about our horses, but that's about it. But so my mind is like over here in rodeo barrel
Yeah,
racer
you're barrel
land.
racing,
So I'm
and
like
I'm
in
going-
the alley sitting on my horse.
Right.
My horse does that in the alley, not the chute. So
Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, let's try this. This is a calf roper situation. How many legs are tied to keep the calf roper tied together?
that would be 3.
Yes. Easy. I gotta be
yes.
quiet when that neigh comes because I'm overriding it.
I like the neigh. That sounds like my horse when I bring snacks to
Aw.
him. He just whinnies at me the whole time, snickering.
I love that. Okay, let's see. Question number 4. What is the rider who rides on the side of the steer wrestler called?
That would be a bulldogger. No?
I have it as a hazer. Is that?
Oh yeah, hazer. Well, bulldogging is another name for steer wrestling. I know. There's the womp. I spoke too soon. I did it.
Well,
Oh my
so they're
goodness.
both right. I mean, you knew it was hazing. Or
Yes,
hazer.
it was a hazer.
Okay. There we go. We got it.
We got both sounds.
Woo,
Yay!
woo, woo. What penalty is assessed on a barrel racer for knocking down a barrel?
That would be a 5-second
Yes.
penalty.
I was like, if you don't get this one right.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We've
All
been
right.
there a couple times, unfortunately. If you don't knock a barrel, you know.
How
then
many
you're-
times does it actually take place? Like when you're in the rodeo, is that happen often, or is it?
It can happen. I mean, it's really a game of chance.
Yeah.
Honestly, but if you're consistent and you're practicing, or you're like Lisa Lockhart and you can lift your leg like above your head to get around the barrel, then you can do it.
Now, are the rodeos inside or outside? We're kind of taking a sidetrack, but I think weather conditions would probably make.
Really, there's both. So summer season, there's a lot of outdoor rodeos. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's warmer, it's nicer, there's not as much rain. Also depends on what state you're in. So, for example, if you're in a more northern state or like the Northwest, like Washington, where it rains all the time,
Right,
you're
right.
most likely going to have more indoor
Inside,
rodeos.
yeah.
But down here in the Carolinas, we're all outside.
Are you?
Oh, yeah, most of it.
So if it's really windy, do you get like sand kicked up in your eye?
Sometimes sand, your hat might, try to come
Yeah.
off, but
Do you have straps to keep the hat on?
I actually do not.
How does it stay
I have my
up?
tips and tricks.
I want to know.
Would you like to know?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm giving away my secrets here.
I am done.
When I ride and I have my crown and my hat on, to keep my hat on, I use toupee tape.
Really?
I take you would stick to a person's head for the toupee.
Yes.
I take that little piece of tape and I stick it to my forehead and I stick my hat on the toupee tape and it just stays.
My mouth is on the floor.
I
I had
know.
no idea.
It sounds goofy, but it works.
Well, it would beat having a strap. To me, maybe a
Yes.
strap would be a little bit weird, or like a
Yes.
fastener.
Yeah. Well, growing up, I mean, I wrote English, and jumping in the English
Right.
world, it's a lot more of helmets.
It is.
Which I am all for
love
a good
the
helmet.
look.
Yes.
I love. I think
Yes.
it's just the equestrian, like It's just so proper looking. It's
well,
beautiful.
And it's sleek, and your brain's kind of important, so we would like to protect that.
Yeah,
I know a lot more people than I should that have broken their necks. So helmets. I am all for helmet safety. Actually, when I was a little kid and I used to do summer camps, my instructor would play this. It was called the helmet safety video, and I think it was from probably like 1975, and
everybody's
it was a VHS tape. I mean, she put it in her little VHS tape. Player, the VHS player, and we would watch it as like little kids, and it was terrifying.
That is scary.
It showed people that had traumatic injuries, and you're like, I don't want to become that. No. So, safety comes first. Always be safe.
Yes, for sure. So we have the toupee tape is what keeps
toupee tape. Yeah, some girls use eyelash glue, like for your fake eyelashes, and they do that. But I am so afraid my hat is going to come off. I'm super tall, so everything catches like a little differently with the wind.
Right.
So that toupee tape off Amazon.
I love it. All right. Okay, let's get back. So let's see, where were we? What question are we on? We're on number 6. All right. What does breaking the barrier in a rodeo mean?
Okay, so in your roping events or in your bulldogging events, the calf has to have a head start. So most places they actually have a rope around the calf's neck. I don't remember how many feet it is. That sounds really bad. But the calf gets a couple feet head start. And if you go and you cross the barrier that's in front of like your box, we call it the roping box, in front of your box before that calf gets a head start, that's a penalty.
Gotcha. That is correct.
Yes.
I mean, on my end, way to go. Woo! All right. Question 7. What is a bulldogger?
Okay. So a bulldogger,
yes,
we just kind of talked about this. Yes.
Yeah.
They jump off their horses and they grab the steers by a horn, like their horns. So a steer is, a young, I don't want to say cow because that's incorrect, but a steer has horns and they're usually like a young bull.
And they're angry, right? Aren't they kind of angry?
No, they're pretty sweet. They're pretty docile. Yeah. But this stems from back when we would have to brand and castrate back in the Wild West. So when they jump off, they grab the steer's horns and they pull them down to their shoulder on the ground. And once that steer is completely flat, that's when they raise their hands and the time goes.
Got it.
So same thing basically as a steer wrestler, but we also have what we call shoot doggers, and there's a girls division actually in the Carolinas. And so we don't jump off horses. We actually just hold the steer's heads in the chute. So like a chute gate, like a bucking stock would come out of. And we do the same thing. We let them come out of the chute and you just pull them to the ground.
Have you done it?
I have not yet. I'm going to try it this year.
Are you?
I'm scared. My best friend split her pants doing it. So
oh my gosh.
I'm going to try it though.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Get some spandex pants or something.
Right?
That's
throw a pair of leggings on underneath.
Oh, like what size are these steers? I mean, how many pounds
They're
are we
about
talking?
400 pounds. Oh. They're a good size. Yeah. So
they are a good size. Yeah. Outside of wearing a cowboy hat, I mean, what are some protective gear? I feel like you should be wearing like artillery, like we should be in steel costumes. I mean, what are you?
Medieval Renaissance, like the knight's outfit.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So we
Look
have
at you here. We just put up an image.
Yes.
So this is you with your English. Is that more of a? Your horse is so beautiful. This
is Newcastle. This is my Irishman.
You're a little 28-year-old.
Yes. I think he was probably about 16 or 17 this pic. And I think I was also probably 15 in this picture.
Aww.
But yes, speaking of the sleek helmet.
It is a sleek helmet.
Yes, we have the whole English look going on here. We used to do the jumpers, which is a timed event. So it's not judged on looks or anything. So no one look at my equitation if you're watching this. I was very young. But he's so good at jumping. He's just a blast to jump. He'd go so fast. I mean, it was awesome.
It had to be exhilarating sitting in that saddle.
Oh
or
my gosh.
out of the saddle, I guess, when you jump. But
so that's actually called a 2-point. Fun fact.
Okay.
So our 2-point, or AKA jumping position, is when you're up off of your horse's back, and it just allows them to round out their back and kind of get over the jump nicer.
Here's another picture of you doing some barrel racing.
Yes, that's me. That is Benjamin. I really liked his bottom in this picture. He's squatting low there, sitting around the barrel.
Muscle. I mean, that's power right there.
He is pure power, and he is the biggest goofball you will meet. He always has hay in his mane, somewhere, somehow. And he will be in your pocket. He will be your best friend. If you ignore him, he gets sad. So that's my buddy. He's a sweetheart. But yeah, that was back. Oh goodness, that had to be right after I was a freshman in college, maybe.
So it's interesting that you're not wearing a cowboy hat in that photo, but in a helmet. Is that what you wear in traditional barrel racing?
So traditionally, you would wear a cowboy hat.
Okay.
Back in, I think before 2019, it was you had to wear a cowboy hat, cowboy boots, belt, and a button-up shirt tucked in. That's your like uniform. Attire. Yes, the uniform. Yeah. Now we've switched over to helmets. There's been a lot of safety talk, and one of my favorite barrel racers is Fallon Taylor. Okay. And she actually broke her vertebrae. She broke her neck. She was in the big Regina George neck thing.
Yes.
And she preaches helmet safety awareness, and now she is a Troxel sponsor, which is a brand of helmet, and she makes all these cool colors, so it matches all of our barrel racing stuff. I have like a tie-dye one. It's super fun.
That is so cool.
When I race, I normally wear a helmet just because we're going so fast and anything can happen. I've seen some crazy accidents.
Absolutely. So. I love this photo. Tell me a little bit about this one.
Okay, so this is not a typical rodeo event. This is called pole bending. Okay. And you have 6 poles that you're weaving in and out of. You go up and back down. Okay. This is once again Benjamin. Here's his front side. He's super cute on the front too.
He is.
But this is our favorite event. It's a speed event once again.
So how fast and how many pegs? So for those of you just listening and not actually seeing this image, it is. Well, why don't you describe it? You're better than what I would say.
Okay, so basically you have 6 poles. They look like PVC pipes, which they pretty much are. They're about 6 feet tall, and they're all in a line. And this picture is of myself on my cute little bay horse. Well, he's actually a registered paint, but he's a solid. And we are weaving through these poles here. And it's a timed event, so it's pretty cool. But
did the poles ever fall down? Because they look like they could.
They
looks
could.
A little unstable.
So it's kind of the same premise as barrel racing. It's a 5-second penalty for every pole you knock. Same with barrels. So I have caught myself on the end pole before, and actually, if you look at my feet in this picture, you'll see my right toe turns out more than my left.
I see that.
My right toe has caught a pole a time or two on accident. Oh. So it has not been my horse's fault. It was mine for sure. But yeah, that's my buddy. This was actually at a finals race. And Ben actually won me a paycheck at that race. So that was pretty cool. That was one of my favorites.
That is
my friend and I placed back to back. So we were the top 2 in the division. So that was pretty cool.
So cool. All right. I love this picture.
Yes. So this is a recent one because I have my crown.
Yes,
sash.
you do.
Yes.
And that buckle.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
The crown.
And the crown. That's actually our perpetual crown. So we actually have 2 different crowns right now in rotation. So this one I'll wear in nicer weather when we're just, kind of doing
radio interviews.
Formal stuff, radio interviews.
When you're here.
Like that, when I'm here in the cool studio. But that one is more for like different weather. But this is my vintage man. This is Newcastle now. Aww. He is 28. You can see the gray has started to spread on his face. He's got a little dip in his withers. But that is my main buddy. I love him.
It is your buddy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. How long? What's the longevity of a life, like of a horse?
So it used to be around 30 years old. We're finding horses live longer just because we have more.
Yeah, better nutrition, probably veterinary
vet care.
Yeah.
Same with humans.
Yeah.
Which diseases earlier. So, and we're also trying to, and I don't speak for everyone, but a lot of people are trying to breed out poor conformation, so like how a horse looks, their bone structure, their coat styles, as they grow older. So that's really helping the horse industry and letting them live longer. So
that's wonderful.
Newcastle's gonna live forever. I'm
convinced.
He is. So
he's got another at least 28
years.
Easily. Yes. Okay. Let's go back to our trivia. We are on number 8. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Which of the following roping events begin? Oh, this is a good one. Which of the following roping event began out of the medical need during the turn of the century?
A medical need for?
I think for the safety of the. That's a good question.
I was gonna say team roping.
It's tie down. Roping.
Is it tie down? Okay,
yeah, tie
Because
down.
they can both. So I would say team just because we normally when we tag and brand and castrate,
Right.
if you're doing it on horseback, you're doing it as a team.
Yeah.
Because you're spreading them so that way you don't get kicked by a cow, which does not feel good.
Right. You would think, right?
But the tie down makes sense too, because if you're alone and you're a single cowboy and you're doing it, then
Right.
you have to use, all your pig and string, all resources.
Right.
And have a darn good horse too.
You giddy up, girl. Okay. That's my southern twang there, guys, for all of you that are listening. All right. So I think that was a point for me then.
Yes,
Maybe
that was a point
it was
for
like
you.
a point
That was a point
5.
for you.
Okay.
We'll give it to you. It's okay.
What is the term used for a female horse under the age of 4?
A filly.
Yes. Where does that come from? What's the origin on
I
that?
actually could not tell you.
feel
So
like it's-
under the age of 4 for a male would be a colt.
Okay.
A year would be yearling, and then anything after that would be a horse. I call everything a pony or a baby horse.
Yeah,
everything's cute to me. So
know.
we have like a 6-year-old at the barn where I work, and he's still baby horse. So fun fact, horses aren't fully developed till they're 6. So to me,
Really?
they're still toddlers anywhere between the ages of 2 and 5.
Batman, right? Is that your youngest?
Yes, Batman. He's actually 7 or 8 this year.
Oh,
he's
okay.
getting old.
Whoa.
Yes, I know.
was
He's
like,
getting
hold on,
old.
he's mature
He's
now.
matured now. He's my little buddy, but he was very cute when he was tiny. I knew him when he was like much smaller.
Oh.
He's precious. Definitely has that toddler attitude though.
Does he?
Oh yeah, the
Oh.
ponies have sass. So
Yeah.
that's for sure.
What is the tallest horse breed? Is question 10.
Oh goodness. Well, that would be your draft horse, but she's looking at me like she's gonna stump me right now, and I really want to go with Percheron, but I feel like that's wrong, and it could be a Belgian.
I have it as a Shire.
Oh, the Shires. Yes, they are huge. So draft horses, like what you would use for pulling carts, or if you see the Shire, like if you watch the Royal.
Yes.
Anything.
Yeah.
They have the big drum horses.
Yes.
So those are Shires. So they're all huge. I actually worked with a giant Belgian horse. He was 19 hands. So a hand is 4 inches. It's actually the width of your hand from like your thumb to pinky. And so if you think 19 hands, what that translates to is his back was over my head, and I'm 6 feet tall. So he was huge,
That
insane.
Is crazy.
Yes,
And that
they're
was a
big.
Shire, or what was
He was
that?
a Belgian.
A Belgian.
Yes.
What are the Budweiser horses?
Those are Clydesdales.
Oh, I love those.
Yes,
they're so
they're
beautiful.
so
It's like
cute.
so American.
It is. It's very American.
It is.
I love the draft horses. They're probably the sweetest.
Are they?
They're
as
big,
far as
gentle
temperament?
giants. Oh, yeah. It's like when you meet a Great Dane. I've never met a bad Great
Yeah,
Dane.
no, they're
ever.
always so
yes.
sweet.
So it's like the giant horses are always the best too.
How many bones are in a horse's body is the next question.
Oh
Question
my goodness.
11.
You really like stumping me here today.
Am I?
Yes,
I'm
actually.
like grinning. I'm like grinning. It's okay. You're gonna do it. Do you want me to give you a range?
I want to say it's close to ours. Is it not?
I don't know how many bones we have actually.
206?
Oh my gosh, you were like one off.
200, is it 205 or 207?
Yes.
205?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you that
Okay,
one.
Cool.
Where's that
thanks.
nay? Where's that nay?
Okay.
Give me that nay. Give me that nay. We have 205 bones in the horse's body. There you
Interesting.
go.
I wonder what their one less is. It's probably,
So I didn't know we had 206.
yeah, we have
Oh my
206.
gosh. I know. What is theirs? Maybe one less tooth.
Oh my gosh. I think they have more teeth than we do. It's
I don't-
insane. Their teeth never fail to like just amaze me, because if you look at a horse,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And they like lift their lips up at all. They have those front teeth, right?
Yeah.
But what you don't realize is there's a gap for their bit, and then their teeth go all the way up the sides of their cheeks.
I didn't know that
Yes.
either.
Yeah, so it's insane. I mean, their teeth go all the way back, and their molars with the roots are like this long.
Oh, I can
Like that's
only
like a
imagine.
solid 4 inches. They're huge, insane.
Listen, when I had my wisdom teeth pulled,
I was sad
for any
too.
of those, I was blown away. I got to keep my. Okay, we're not going to go down that
No,
rabbit
we'll go
hole.
down that rabbit hole,
But
but-
anyways, yes, I can't even imagine a horse's tooth.
Yeah.
But I don't know where that extra bone is in our human anatomy. We'll have
I
to
don't
look that
either.
up.
Yeah, that's
It'd be a
that's
great
fun
little.
fact. Yeah.
Okay, the final question of the day for this trivia extravaganza
Oh,
is:
I love this question.
What are the 5 parts of a horse's hoof?
Okay. So you have the bars, the sole, the wall, the frog. Hold on, I have to think of what a hoof looks like. You have the heel bulbs as well.
So I have it as the heel.
Okay,
The
you
toe.
have the heel. Oh, yes, the toe. I think it's the only one I forgot.
Yeah,
and then
the
you have the wall
the bar,
and the sole
and the frog.
and the frog. Yeah.
Why is it called a frog? I think of the green thing that jumps around. On
Yes.
the ground.
Well, it's funny. That's why we say horses are so springy when they jump, is because they have frogs on the bottom of their feet.
That's clever.
But the frog, actually, what it does is it pumps blood and circulates through their legs. So the reason why, if you talk to a farrier, that frog has to touch the ground at some point, and it pushes the blood back through their legs and body.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. It's actually quite squishy if you touch
Is it?
Yeah. It's actually quite sensitive, too.
Well, okay, so with the horse's shoe,
Yes.
so that would be on the toe part of it then, correct?
Yes, the toe and kind of like your nails go into the wall. So
Okay.
yeah, it'd be on the toe and part of the sole.
I'm learning so much today.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Oh, good.
What is next for you today? Or no, what is next for you
I was
today?
gonna say, I have to go to work. Yay.
What is next for you this month, this year?
So I actually leave on Saturday to go to Rodeo Houston and Stock Show.
Amazing.
I made the pivot team.
That is incredible. What is the pivot team?
So the pivot team is the flag girls at the beginning, middle, and end of the rodeo. So we carry sponsor flags. We ride what we call the Survey Black horses, and that is the Survey Pro Rodeo Company. They own those horses and they provide them for us. So they're all matching. There's like 15 black horses. Beautiful. Love them. So we get to run around with the flags, and only 30 girls over the span of the whole Rodeo Houston Stock Show, which I think is a total of 3 to 4 weeks, get chosen out of hundreds of applicants. So I feel really honored and really blessed. This has been a huge dream and goal of mine. So I cannot wait to go to Houston. I've never been. So
that is so exciting. I'm so
Yes.
excited for you.
Thank you.
That is so amazing. Is there anything that you want to share as part of your title holdings? Like, what are you passionate about? I feel like this is like the end of the interview where I'm like, tell me, like, what do you hope to get done this year in your titleship?
So I really hope to educate the youth and everyone about not only the importance of rodeo, but also the importance of agriculture and what we can do to help our farmers and our community. I would also love to really reach out and get more sponsors for our program, for our Miss Rodeo North Carolina program. Besides my division, we also have a Sweetheart Princess, Junior, and Teen.
Right.
So we're always looking for sponsors if anyone would like to sponsor.
How can you become a sponsor?
So
what are the steps?
You can become a sponsor through going to our Facebook or Instagram page. There's a whole packet on there. There's different sponsorship levels, and every level gets something awesome. Actually, I have something for you guys today.
What?
That is one of our sponsor gifts. And let me see if I can get it out of my purse here. It is actually my headshot.
Oh
with
my
a nice little
gosh.
signature. So this is for you guys because I appreciate you guys so much for having me on.
Where is the camera? I love this. You guys, you got to check into the North Carolina Rodeo, Miss Rodeo. We need sponsors, y'all.
Yes, and we are a 501c3 nonprofit.
Okay.
So everything we do, our whole organization is volunteer based. My director is an awesome volunteer. Everyone in the board, myself, and all the other misses, we're just super excited to really just serve our community and our rodeo world. So really this year, I just want to put a name for us on the map.
Yeah.
And make sure that people really know that rodeo isn't dying. We're not giving up, and we're here to stay.
No, I love that. It
Thank
has been
you.
such an honor and a privilege to have you here today. I've learned
Thank you so much.
much.
I'm just like
blown
thrilled, blown away to be here. I've always wanted to be on the radio, so thank you for letting my dreams come true.
Of course. We want you back.
Yes, I'd be happy to.
I cannot. Is there any way to follow you on this rodeo in Texas?
So please follow my journey. I am super bad sometimes about posting, but I will be posting hopefully almost daily at Rodeo Houston. So if you follow our Facebook or Instagram page, it's just under Miss Rodeo North Carolina. And make sure to follow our other Princess, Teen, Junior, Sweetheart. They all have their own pages as well. You just add that name either at the end or beginning, and make sure you follow them. We all have a blast together, so I'm super excited. We just did a rodeo. We did the Old Ford Rodeo
Okay.
in Raleigh, and we I mean,
the
it
best
was
time.
just so fun
Aw.
with everyone. So yeah, please make sure to give us a like and follow. I'm going to keep posting about our journey, especially journey to Miss Rodeo America. So
Yes,
I'm
we will
super
have to have you back
excited.
before.
Yes, I would love that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming into the studio
Thank you so
today.
much. I just really appreciate you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is Chelsea from We Talk Raw at rBeatz Radio. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Sending love and light.